Good afternoon, everyone.
Ha!
Hello, welcome to Qatar 365 with me, Adil Halim. On this episode, we look back at some of our favorite moments from 2023. We visited vulnerable animals like Arabian oryxes and Chinese pandas. Then from protecting animals to protecting the planet, we took a deep dive into the country's sustainability efforts. But we begin with sports. In the years since Qatar hosted the FIFA World Cup, there's been no shortage of memorable sporting highlights. Some of the best tennis players in the world, like Great Britain's Andy Murray and Poland's Iga Świątek, battled it out at the 2023 Qatar Open. It was also a chance for Qatari players like Mubarak Al-Naimi to test their skills against world-class talent. The 21-year-old is a natural on the tennis court, but as she told me, it wasn't love at first swing.
At the beginning, I didn't want to play tennis, but my mom pushed me with my brother. And then I started competing and winning some matches and then becoming #1 all category here in Doha. Now tennis is part of my life. It's like a routine for me, playing every day. It's hard because I'm studying also university, so I'm trying to manage my time competing and studying at the same time. Tennis is my passion.
Try to follow through more. This is good.
From the tennis court, we drove to the desert for a different kind of adrenaline boost. Laila Humaira tried to keep up with the participants in a challenging test of endurance through the sand dunes.
It's just after sunrise at Qatar's sea-lined desert, usually a calm and quiet time. This is the starting point of the Al Adaid Desert Challenge, the most grueling event on Qatar's off-road cycling calendar. Organized by Qatar cyclists, the race features a 40-kilometer desert track over 8 sand dunes, a mixed terrain of sand and gravel, and any kind of weather condition Mother Nature has to offer. Participants can either cycle the route, run the route, or do both, and they have to do it come rain or shine, and try to win the mental battle within themselves.
The first dune was not too bad. The second one I had to stop and empty my shoes because they filled right up, and I decided to start really easy, the run, and then walk up the dunes. And by the time I got to the third one, I thought, I feel all right, so I just kept running.
Interest in mixed martial arts has increased significantly across the region. One of the biggest names in the fight game is the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I wanted to find out why the UFC was expanding into the Qatari market. Gripped by grappling, a captive audience looks on intently as UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev is leading a masterclass on mixed martial arts. For members of the new UFC gym in Qatar, and even their coaches, the opportunity to learn takedown techniques from an elite fighter is not one that comes around very often. That your mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, has called you the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. What does that mean to you, coming from arguably one of the greatest fighters this sport has ever seen?
This is my dream, to be UFC champion, to be UFC best fighter in the world, you know. This is my dream.
What advice do you have for young people who might want to get into MMA?
My advice, just focus, you know. Many people want to be champion, but not many people want to wake up early morning, training hard. Doesn't matter if it's MMA or other sports, you just have to be focused, training every day, and one day, Allah gonna give you.
Then, from a relatively modern style of combat to ancient martial arts, Laila found out that even though Taekwondo is all about self-defense, that doesn't mean the kicks don't pack a punch.
Don't let them fool you. They're young and some are small in stature, but try to hurt them and these Taekwondo students will be quick to defend themselves.
It's fun, it's challenging, and it makes my body very active.
So after a quick crash course on Taekwondo, it's time for me to try a hand at some of these amazing skills and hope I don't hurt myself or anyone. Let's go. Ha!
Now that was just one wooden board. Some Taekwondo practitioners can break up to 10 or more wooden plates, which is hard to believe.
It's mind control. To tell you the meaning of Taekwondo, Tan means feet, Kwon is mean fists, Do is means mental. So Taekwondo means to physical and mental training.
Animals play a large role in Qatari culture. Earlier in the year, we explored the country's efforts to reintroduce Arabian oryxes back into the wild. But first, Lila met two of the country's newest residents, a pair of giant pandas from China.
They're cute, cuddly, and playful, and they've brought pandemonium to the Middle East for the first time ever. Suhail and Thuraya were born in China's Sichuan province, but for the next 15 years, they will live here at the Panda House in Qatar.
When we build the building, we have to make sure that we can regulate the temperature and we can change it to mimic the four seasons as well, because they are indoor all year round.
Through breeding and reintroduction programs, global efforts to protect pandas have become a shining example for other conservation initiatives. Since 2021, giant pandas have been declared no longer endangered, but still considered vulnerable.
This is due to all the expertise around the world who has pandas, do all the research, and we share our findings, our husbandry techniques, and our findings annually as all the experts in the group, so we can learn more about pandas.
The Arabian oryx is a majestic animal that was once on the verge of extinction, but an international conservation effort to protect them helped put a stop to that, with the hope that one day they can return to their natural habitat.
So today I have 3 cases. They isolated from part of 5, one oryx with an ear injury.
These animal doctors are making the rounds, checking in on their 4-legged patients. For this family of Arabian oryxes, the Al-Maha Sanctuary is their safe space. The government-run wildlife reserve is a 30-minute drive west of Doha. Andrea Dagliero says there are around 3,000 to 3,500 Arabian oryxes under his watch at the Al-Maha Sanctuary, and about 18,000 spread across the country.
I really dream to see again this creature in its environment. Some kids never saw one oryx. We doesn't know what we are talking about. So our goal is show them this majestic creature.
Preservation, conservation, and sustainability are some common themes we'll be hearing about for the foreseeable future, especially here at Expo 2023 Doha, the first ever horticultural exhibition held in the Middle East. Earlier this year, our team tagged along with a community-led beach cleanup to save the planet for future generations. But first, Lila peeled back the curtain at the Museum of Islamic Art to show us how ancient artifacts are restored.
A leather book binding from 13th century Andalusia, a 9th century sword from the Khazar Kaghanate period, and this monumental stucco panel from 12th century Iran. These are just some of the thousands of historical objects housed at the Museum of Islamic Art. It's a miracle that these artifacts have lasted through centuries. Serhat Karakaya is a metals conservator at the museum. Today, he's showing a restoration project he recently completed.
Before I start treatments, it was in really poor condition with a really deep crack on the neck. Maybe you can still see it here.
Meanwhile, paper and book conservator Reem Al-Khuzay is putting her expert touch on a folio from Iran and inspecting a one-of-a-kind manuscript.
It's made of leather from outside, the banding, and the inside we have it on parchment. Parchment, it's animal skin. So it's from 13th century, from South Africa. And that period, they start to use a lot of animal skin and write all the Quran, let's say, or for example, this book about the stars. So science, mathematics, a lot of things on parchment.
From preserving historical books to protecting the environment, we joined a dedicated group of volunteers to find out why they spend their weekends cleaning up a mess they didn't make.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the beautiful beach of the Al Zubar Archaeological Site.
But these 100 plus volunteers are not here for some fun in the sun. They're here to work, get their hands dirty, and clean up the beach.
We've been doing this for 5-6 years, and throughout time we've mobilized 11,000 volunteers, the majority of them students. Today you can see we have university students, we have elementary school students here who are joining us, families, companies, everyone, is part of this big movement that we've created through the years. We've collected 180,000 kilos of trash. We've removed that much trash from nature in Qatar, from the mangroves, from the roda, from the beach, from the heritage sites.
What a nice sentiment to think about as we head into the new year. From Qatar's burgeoning sports scene, to its majestic animals, to preserving the country's heritage, we hope you enjoyed this look back at some of our 2023 highlights. And that's all the time we have for now. For more, check out Euronews.com and connect with us through our hashtag. Thanks for watching, and from all of us here at Qatar 365, we wish you a Happy New Year.